Welcome to a presentation on the proposed East Street Municipal Complex. The complex will include the DPW, the Police Department, and the Fire Department. This presentation is designed to provide you with information relative to the project that will aid you in your decision process at the May Town Meeting. This presentation will cover the project history, department responsibilities, why the town needs a new municipal complex, space needs, what is actually proposed, and how it benefits and affects each of us who live in the town of Mansfield. This has been a project years in the making. A brief history shows that the need was acknowledged and explored as early as 2001. Department responsibilities. The DPW is responsible for a significant amount of work within the community, including the maintenance of all roadways, public buildings, 120 vehicles, and 80 pieces of very specific equipment. Besides daily operations, the DPW is a key player during significant storm events and emergency responses. This places them, along with police and fire, as part of the town's first responder team. The police are responsible for the protection of all citizens from harm, prevention and detection of crime, and the interaction with citizens and groups to help resolve a variety of issues and problems. In doing so, they respond to some 26,000 calls for service every year. Likewise, the Fire Department is responsible for the protection of all who cross the borders into Mansfield. They must control and extinguish injurious or dangerous fires, provide emergency basic and advanced life support, and protect life and property from fire risks by inspecting buildings for fire hazards, enforcing laws, and providing education related to fire prevention. On average, the department responds to 6,000 calls for service. 3,000 of these are emergency calls. So why does the town need new facilities? The DPW facility was built in 1957. The population at that time was 7,800 people. Today, it is 24,000 people. There were 100 roads in 57. Today there are 415, consisting of 126 miles. During this time, the vehicles and equipment have grown in size relative to the growth in the community, while the working space in the building has not. This leads equipment and personnel to share very limited space, which was designed to handle the workflow of 50 years ago. The congestion of material in tight quarters invariably slows down work and places the members at risk. Many times, vehicles must be placed so tightly that mirrors overlap, leaving almost no space to work between. With space at a premium, much of the storage of materials is done through makeshift means outside. Trailers and department-built lean-tos are used to house much of the smaller equipment. Meanwhile, most of the larger equipment, including the multi-million-dollar fleet, must also be stored outdoors, reducing vehicle life expectancy and impacting operations. Why does the town need a new police station? 50 West Street was built in 1974 to house both the town hall and a small police station. It was refurbished in 1997, expanding the police station, but has not kept pace with the demands of a growing community and now faces major issues with meeting state certification and federal accreditation standards. Cell space capabilities simply do not meet needs, making it necessary during high volume times to divert prisoners to other towns. This does not relieve the town of the responsibilities for these prisoners. It simply reduces our ability to effectively monitor and manage each situation. The cells themselves, like the rest of the building, pose significant liability hazards under current state and federal laws. The booking area, which handles more custodies than Braintree and Quincy combined on an annual basis, was designed for significantly less traffic. In its current design, both officers and prisoners are put at risk. Storage throughout is limited. What was once a two-bay garage is now only capable of one vehicle, with the rest serving a variety of storage needs. The garage area is part of a larger prisoner security plan that allows the officer to unload the prisoners into a secure area before moving them into booking. The prisoner transport vans, however, will not fit into the space, forcing one officer to unload several prisoners at a time into open space that abuts a stream, a pond, and a busy road, compromising security and again increasing liability. Evidence and wreckage storage spaces are overflowing beyond capacity. Many of the rooms and areas throughout the building have been repurposed to try to handle the growth. Interview rooms and hallways contain storage, and police offices have built an armory where an old shower stall once stood. Why does the town need a new fire station? Built in 1930, the fire station simply cannot support the needs of a modern fire department. Undersized apparatus bays alone prevent any kind of service activities from taking place inside the existing structure. Typically, an apparatus bay will have 18 to 20 foot of clearance. These 10-foot doors and 14-foot ceilings also force the town to purchase vehicles specifically to fit inside that small space, limiting choices of vendors which dramatically increase costs. Other than firefighters securing donations and doing off-duty work, no renovations have actually been done for 85 years. Inside, there is inadequate space between apparatus for firefighters to safely and efficiently access the apparatus and put on their gear when responding to a call. Infrastructure issues are present throughout. Mechanical systems are outdated and inefficient. Areas from offices to bathrooms are undersized and in decline. Finally, storage areas were not designed with EMS in mind. This forces the use of every available space, including those for medical supplies, leaving this equipment in less than adequate conditions. In preparing to move forward, each department was tasked with determining space needs for today and for the future. In doing so, we worked diligently to determine and develop space needs that not only matched long-term planning, but took into context cost and effect on taxpayers. As a result, each project went through a series of steps to get to the current square footage needs. We also explored each current site and its potential to manage these needs. The DPW current situation, as it relates to space needs, is clearly inadequate to house and service the vehicles and equipment it employs. What it does have, though, is land. The fire station takes nearly all of the land it currently sits on. Expansion cannot occur on the current lot, and two factors work against us in using the vacant lot. There is a high cost to the purchase of that property, and even if this was possible, the land would not accommodate the space needs for the future. The police station also has issues with the size of the lot. It cannot expand beyond its current footprint, and it is not designed to tolerate a second floor. This means the building may have to be raised to have a multi-story building in its place. What is proposed? The property the DPW and Water Department currently sit on has been determined as the site that makes the most sense. It is a town-owned, sizable lot able to serve all three departments. It is a site that already bears the traffic of all town vehicles and therefore does not impact other neighborhoods. And logistically, it will reduce fire and EMS response times for outlying areas of the town without significantly increasing response times to any other area. In a study using GIS, the town's global informational system, and the current sites of the fire stations, response times can vary from 2 minutes, as indicated in red, to 3 in tan, to 4 in green, and up to 7 to 8 minute responses shown in blue and purple. The majority of these areas represent sections of towns that have seen tremendous recent development. In moving the fire station from North Main Street to East Street, the areas with 7-minute response times are all but eliminated, while areas with 2 to 3 minute response times are greatly increased. The reality is that these minutes do count, and they can mean the difference between life and death. The proposed location sits at the existing DPW site. The DPW would temporarily relocate to across the street where a building that would later be converted to the salt shed will be constructed to serve vehicles and equipment. This will allow the project to move forward more quickly and, as a whole, reduce costs. The DPW building would be constructed in the rear of the property, while the public safety building will sit adjacent to East Street. The corridor in front of the facility must also be improved. The road will be widened to accommodate high-volume traffic, and a new turning lane with a set of lights will be installed at the intersection. These lights will be synchronized with nearby intersections, as well with the Opticon system employed by the fire department that turns the light in favor of oncoming emergency vehicles and allows the traffic to flow away from the apparatus. The plan would also include a berm and tree plantings to reduce noise and line-of-sight issues for the neighbors. The artist's rendition shows what the public safety facility would look like and how the DPW would look. What are the costs? In total, the project cost is estimated to be nearly $35 million. This includes all of the work that has been discussed. In a comparison with similar projects in other communities, size and cost for the DPW are on average. And the same can be said for the public safety facility. The plan to pay for this project involves debt exclusion. This means that the debt ends when the project is paid for. With a 25-year plan, if the debt exclusion begins in FY15, the homeowner in Mansfield would pay an additional amount based on the value of their property. If the town does nothing, then the issues at all buildings must be addressed. The cost of repairs and remodeling will equal that of the new project. No money will be saved, and the town will be forced to consider further debt within 10 years to prepare for growth in the community and the need for appropriate public safety in DPW facilities. Debt exclusions in the past have resulted in higher payments per household than the proposed bond issue for this project. The new debt exclusion will act like a mortgage with a set rate over a period of time until the debt is paid off. What are the benefits of a new facility? Some of the benefits include better protection of the town's multi-million-dollar investment in vehicles and equipment, more efficient and safer workspaces, quicker response times for all of Mansfield, and the upgrade of the East Street and Pratt Street intersection, which has a direct impact on school traffic and safety. Lastly, it prepares for the projected growth of the community. To help offset the cost, the town would look towards the potential sale of the North Main Street Fire Station. The town is also looking to join several area towns, Foxborough, Easton, Norton, and Attleboro, in a regional dispatch effort that would affect costs associated with building repair, radio issues, and employee costs. State 911 would cover all of the costs associated with the first two, and the newly formed regional organization would impact the third. This action will result in large savings for the town. Thank you for watching this presentation. Our hope is that it answered many questions and provided sufficient information for all. If you have additional questions on the project, please feel free to call police, fire, or the DPW. We look forward to seeing you at the town meeting.